Okay, I'm unmuted.
Councilwoman Shivers, are you present?
Yes.
It was me.
Okay. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Citizen comments.
David White,
Yes.
would you like to make
Come
public
on up.
comment?
You just have to come, yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is David White. I say 7748 Woodstock. Been staying in the neighborhood for almost 40 years. Actually, I'm just glad to be here. I don't know really why I was called to the podium. It just kind of threw me off there for a moment.
Put your name down for citizen comments?
Down for what?
You put your name on the list saying that you wanted to stand up here and say something.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I did say what I wanted to say, but actually, at the end of the day, what I'm more interested in is what do we need to do to improve the value of our properties in our entire neighborhood, especially in Ward 1.
Yes.
I've been a Ward 1 resident for a number of years, as I already stated, and what I would like to see is more people giving time to that area, because we have a lot of people with elderly cars sitting in their driveway, and stuff is falling down around them. And I like to see the homeowners or I know we probably have a lot of renters, but what I would like to see is the owners of the property be held more responsible than they really are. My trash bill is extremely high, and I don't really know why, but we need to get to the bottom of it. I just really want to see our community, in better shape than really what it is, especially Ward 1.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Gannon,
I'm gonna wait.
Ms. Moore?
Hello, everyone. Happy spring. Just to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, I've lived over here for 40 years also. I went to Bermuda Elementary School, and this is not to be offensive to anybody, especially you. You might agree. Have any of you all been to Mississippi in the past 10 years? Mississippi? Nobody? Been to Mississippi anywhere in Mississippi the last 10 years? I'm not sure if you all know, Mississippi is the poorest state in the union.
Yeah.
And again, I don't mean to be offensive. When I drive through Ward 1, knowing what it used to look like, it looks like Mississippi.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and he lives there too, and he just said, yeah, if you know what it used to look like compared to now, the roads look horrible. So I just want to kind of piggyback off what he said, but instead of getting grant money, $1.3 million to fix that park that you either have to live in Ward 1 or be from this neighborhood to know, spend it on the streets. It looks horrible back there. And if we can get our enforcement again to not continue to focus on Wards 3 and 4, but the whole city, it doesn't matter if you're elected for Ward 4, 3, 2, or 1. The entire city is responsibility of all of you all. So again, let's put more attention to what needs it, not preferential treatment. And again, I think what the residents have been saying is, we know what it used to be, and we want our basic services back. Trash is very high. It's going to continue to get high. Second thing, I reached out to my council member a few days ago. I was taking an elderly neighbor to the library, and she spotted 3 Normandy police officers laughing and joking in the library parking lot. Reached out, got information from the chief, and said, well, hey, there's been fights up on Natural Bridge from the kids, and we wanted to have police station. Here's the problem with that. The security for the library came out and asked the police officers, did someone call you? Is there something wrong? All 3 cars back to back, I have the plates number, said, oh no, nothing's wrong. And he's like, well, because we have kids in here and it makes them nervous to have police hanging around. If they're gonna patrol Natural Bridge because of kids at the high school or middle school, they should do that instead of just sitting in the parking lot. Because me being a Normandy resident, and even people who are paying Normandy to have Normandy patrol them, they're saying they don't see the police. We don't see them during the morning shift, afternoon, evening. It's like we come up here and speak about it, and they show up for a week or 2, and then they're back missing again. So hang out in the parking lot for 2 hours versus patrolling our cities, making sure that they're seen and visible and safe. I just wonder what you all personally think about that, because even though there are fights, you can't see if there's a fight if you're sitting, laughing, and eating chips, 3 cars back to back in a parking lot off the street. You can't even see Natural Bridge where they were parked. And if anybody wants to see the photos, I'd be more than happy to share those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No other public comments?
Did I get approval to, a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Report of officers. On Tuesday, April 29th, the Urban League is hosting a career and resource fair from 10 to 2. I'm gonna ask Deanna to put this on the website. But if you know anyone who is looking for a position, Ameren will be there, Boeing, United States Air Force, and some other companies. The number is 314-658-9303 if people want to call and make an appointment for an interview. 314-658-9303. And you can look it up on their website also. So it's at the Urban League on Kings Highway. Let's see. I don't know if you guys got this information. The installation dinner is going to be May 22nd. Did you guys get it? So if you haven't, for the installation dinner for newly elected officials, and well, anybody.
In this school week?
Yeah. So if you want to attend, I would like us all to attend, like, as a council. So it's going to be, the dinner is going to be May 22nd at 7 p.m. And we have to give an RSVP, I believe, by the 15th. Then UMSL is having a community dialogue. This is open to the public. This is April 24th from 4 to 6. The University of Missouri St. Louis will be talking about what you want to see, how you want to communicate with your governing body and what they should be looking at. So you can go to their website, and also I'll post this one, we'll post this one, and you can just reserve, reserve your spot. The other thing, for council members, on the 24th, this is on Zoom from 12 to 1:15, there's a roles and responsibilities of governing body training by the Municipal League. It's on Zoom, so if you don't have the capability, I think it's just on Zoom, actually.
Is that April or May 24th?
April 24th.
If any council members are interested in attending that session, please let me know, because we've already paid for the tuition
Yeah.
for the year, and I can
Absolutely.
enroll you but we need to make sure that it gets billed properly, so if you'll just shoot me an email and let me know.
If you get any of those and you want to attend them, you can do it individually, and sometimes they have recordings, you can just tell Kiana, and they'll send you the link, and recordings and everything.
So is it like a Zoom or?
It's on Zoom, so the ones that I've done, they're on Zoom, and then like at the end, they send you an email that says, here's the recording, and then you can look at it again as many times as you want. So those are really good resources. So that's happening on the 24th.
What's the name of that again?
It's Roles and Responsibilities of Governing Body Training, April 24th from 12 to 1:15.
All right.
I'm gonna start with, Vicky, you wanna go
Oh, sure. I'm going to meet with and probably get on the advisory board of the Coro Foundation Fellowship Program. I contacted Coro February 2024, asking for perhaps working with the fellows. There's 12 of them. The program is based at UNSL. It's training in public affairs. And they have 12 people every year who get these internships, and they're looking for projects. What I'd like to do is to go there, find out what's possible, and go and find what's possible, and when we might get some help from one of the fellows. When we were Glen Echo Park, we did get some help from students at one point. They weren't these people. These are all graduate students, higher level of knowledge, and they have an interest in doing this kind of thing. I initially contacted them in regard to strategic planning process, which I think we could get back to and have another look at that process. But also, we've got some other things that might be possible. If we need help with just legwork, these folks will do it. Surveys, putting together a project, anything. So what I'm going to do is Thursday night, I'm going to be at that meeting and figuring out, how that program might be able to help us on some of our projects. But I would like some information from everybody about which projects I think might be helpful. The one that I think might be helpful, and people have been talking about housing all the time. One of the issues that we have is reporting on and communication on just about everything, but particularly about housing situations. So if we get a fellow, and this wouldn't be until next year, so it might be a little bit down the line, and I don't plan to wait on all of this that long. I think we need to look at our housing database. We have not had a housing clerk in some time. And while I have been told that our housing, the inspector does know a lot of the issues, if we can't document those issues, if we cannot have an organized way of getting information out to people and responding to needs fairly quickly, then it looks like we're not doing anything. I don't believe that we are completely dead in the water, but in the business that I came from, if I couldn't count it, it didn't exist. And so we need to be able to count how many cases we have open, what all of these things are. And while that's not public information, it should be information that's available, in my opinion, to the specific council people, so they'll know what's going on in their wards and can help to spread the information about compliance and to give information back to City Hall about some things that ought to be priority. Another thing that I want to bring up and re-examine is our vacant house ordinance that I don't believe has, I'm sorry. Vacant house ordinance, it really hasn't been in effect. We have an ordinance that says that if a house is vacant, the owner has to pay $200 every 6 months if there are any external code violations on that house. What that does is will pay for in repeated inspections if we need to do that, and help pay for perhaps some software. And it also just gives us a sense of where are the vacant houses? Do we have a list? Do we know the state of each one of these things? So I think with automation, we can do an awful lot more and do it more effectively. We do have, a short budget, and it is hard for one person, that's all we've got right now, to go out and do that. But if we could give that person tools to do what we want and need as a city and as your representatives, I think it would be worth some investment. So I'm going to be looking and hopefully meeting with our interim administrator to actually look at the housing database, actually look and see how it functions, see how often the data is downloaded from the county system into our system. So, and then cross-reference that with any information that people know about who actually lives in the houses, so that we can get a sense of who lives in every house, whether it's vacant or not, who the owners are. And true, the owners of the rental homes have to be made responsible. And then, that means that we have to do much more aggressive part on the side of, from the inspection to the compliance and getting people into housing court. Yeah, it's gonna cost us some money, but we will be happier with the outcomes, in my opinion.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson?
First of all, I just want to thank my citizens. I spoke to lots of them for supporting me and allowing me to serve them for 8 years, 4 terms. And I am honored to be their council person, and I'm not gone. And some of them will still look at me as their council person, and I will respect the board, and all I want the board to do is respect the city and do the things that the citizens want done, and that is a priority. And congratulations to Yolanda for winning the seat as the mayor. Also the council person that's coming in, Julia, as well as Mr. Roberts, and Tony, as well as Karen. So all I'm saying is just do the right thing and look in terms of taking care of the citizens. But I'm not gone. I'm just off the board. I'm still a citizen of Normandy. And I appreciate you, and all I can say is God bless Normandy, because it needs a lot of work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, I don't have anything at this time. I have a lot of stuff next month.
There was a few issues that brought to my attention during the campaigning this year. First of all, like the young man in the back stated about the rental properties, a lot of complaints about why so many rental properties in Normandy, and why the landlords being held responsible for keeping these properties up to standard, and also why these renters are not obeying the city ordinances for the trash cans and pit bulls. So we need to get a handle on that. Code enforcement number 2, why violations are not being addressed in a timely manner. Communication with the citizens of Normandy. Communication with the residents is unacceptable, and we must do a better job of communicating going forward. Occupancy permits, are there even occupancy permits even being issued? And if they are, have they been updated recently? I have a question about how we get these items on the agenda to discuss.
Well, that would be more like workshop related, so if you want to put that on the agenda for the workshop. But we do have the code enforcement subcommittee, so.
Yeah, and we will be meeting with that again. I've talked to Karen, I've talked to Steve, I'm talking to you now. We're gonna be changing the time of it. It's probably gonna be in the afternoon.
Oh.
Citizens can't come?
Yes, of course you
No,
can come.
citizens can come. You were on it. I thought you were on.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a formal thing.
It's not a formal committee, but it's just a subcommittee where the gist of it, the goal was.
I'm sorry, just real quick. I'm sure a lot of people, like Tony said, would love to be involved, but they can't come in the afternoon. If I can get information on when the next one is, I can maybe plan around it.
Yeah, the problem was, I think we were having them at 5:30. I don't see well at night. I cannot, in the winter, in the summertime, yeah, I could be in the
I'll
evening.
take that home.
Come pick me up too. That's fine. We can go back to the original time, I believe. It's just, it's difficult. And so, yeah, if we can get people who'll show up, and we find a night that works again in the schedule, I think this, what was it, the fourth Thursday of the month?
What's the Wednesday? Was it Thursday?
It was Thursday. And what time was it, 7 o'clock?
It was 5:30.
Can you,
5:30, yeah.
if anybody does want, can you put your name on, I'm gonna turn this paper over. If you have to.
I'm sorry, Yolanda, real quick, I don't think I knew that there was a code enforcement. When we improve the communications, is there any way to let the residents know about all the different committees so we can try to get them more involved? I know about the parks.
It's not a commission.
Oh, well,
It's a
council.
subcommittee. It's an advisory group. So there's no real voting or anything in it. It's just,
Oh, I see.
it's a place for us to come and make some formal demands or ask. But it is one of my frustrations has been that I wasn't getting the information that I needed to get. I started this by putting together a citizen's guide to code enforcement. And I've written all the dialogue, I've done all that. What I was looking for was the flow chart. I found some example flow charts and said, okay, this is how it should look. What I could never get was the feedback about, okay, this is how it should be done. What are we actually doing?
I
So,
remember that.
yeah, so let's do this. If you are interested, I put that sign-in sheet right there, and then just put your name, email, or phone number, however you want to be contacted, and then, Vicki or Ms. Karen will get back to you on like the actual dates and stuff. Does that sound good? Who's next?
I am.
Oh, are you done?
I do.
I agree with everyone about the code enforcement. I think what we need to do with the code enforcement first, instead of making it so broad, is to stick to one area, and that's the residences, whatever. The people that live there and the houses that we have. Because those are the ones that, I mean, I know you want flow sheets and all this stuff, how it flows, but we gotta start with something first, and that's all these vacant houses. And if we get rid of all these vacant houses, or find out who live at these houses, who own these houses, that's the big problem that we're having. We don't know who lives there. We have a lot of people in Ward 1 that doesn't even have a permit to live there. So I'd like to see, and I've been asking for a couple of years, that we renew everyone in Ward 1, I can only speak for Ward 1, it could just be the whole Normandy. Everyone needs to update their permits. If you live in that household, you need to have a permit to live there. We have a lot of citizens who just moved there because, hey, my uncle owns his house. But if you live there, if this is where you're receiving your mail, they need to have a permit to live there. And that's the problem we have with Normandy. I did send an email, like I normally do, to Rick about a particular home in Ward 1, and that's been vacant forever, and there's trash, and it needs to be mowed, everything. It's just disgusting. He knows about the house, but the problem is now that there's no name to it. There's no person that you can say, hey, X, Y, and Z lives there. This person lives in somewhere in Michigan, I think. He can't find a person. He also said that when a person buys a home and they want to rent them, we need to get some kind of identification, a license or something, because these LLCs are killing us in Ward 1. We've got to have something that these folks should not be moving to Japan and have a house in Normandy. They need to be close enough that we can get to these people, because Ward 1, I mean, it's not a war zone. It doesn't like Mississippi. It doesn't look like that. But we do need some help in Ward 1, because it's just, we have too many violators over there who are there to don't pay the trash bill, pile up their trash. all the ordinance that's listed, they probably break every single one of them. We got people who are just tired. We need to have standards of what houses look like in Ward 1. You just can't just go in there and just buy a house and just put anything in it because it's cheap and you just want to get rent, $1,500 a month. But when you got other citizens like myself who takes care of their homes, we want everybody's house to look like a standard. Mr. White's house is beautiful. He lives right there on Woodstock. He wants all the other houses to look like his house and well maintained. I get his frustration. We talked to him a couple of times, Yolanda and I, when we was walking around. So that's the problem. I know we're talking about looking at all the ordinance. I think we just need to pinpoint right now on the residents of Normandy and Ward 1 or as a whole. I know I talked to Tony about that too, as Tuesday about that we need to do something about these renters. Ward 1 has too many renters, and we've got to get a percentage of how many percentage that we want in these wards. We shouldn't be 50-50. It wasn't on Stevenhouse watch. It's been in Normandy forever. We've got to get these percentages down. We have too many. That's all I have.
Thank you.
To piggyback on that, the LLCs, they won't even come here. I've seen it go to 2 or 3 different people, and I've approached each one of them and asked them to come down here, because I see the moving trucks come in on Saturdays and Sundays, usually in the evening, and they don't even bother with City Hall. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. I would like to see not only if there was a violation, I'd like the owner, the LLC, cited, and I'd also like the resident, whoever's renting it, I'd like them to be held responsible too, personally. I don't know if that's possible.
It's possible.
But they gotta remember one thing. When you see it vacant, you need to call it in so people know that. People up here can't be the only ones that call here. If you see a problem, you need to call somebody. Okay, I don't mind doing it. When I get a call, I immediately email or call. But I'm never around every minute. If you see a violation, we had a child that was we're having water replacement lines on Dartmoor. We seen kids out there, 3 or 4 kids trying to push their Johnny on the spot over it. Okay? And they're on top of the tractor or whatever, they're digging holes in the street. So, I mean, they're kids being kids, but my point is, there's a law that says a parent is liable to a certain age, in my book, and I believe that's on the books. So we need to start enforcing that too. Where are the parents of these kids that are 7 and 8 years old trying to tip that over? Okay? One other quick thing. Down on Parchester Park entrance, there was a issue with UE about a week ago, and I didn't notice it until I heard the clanking noise. But apparently when they got behind those houses on Parchester, they cut that lock off of that gate to Parchester Park, because the lock is still sitting there with the chain. I can't swear to that, I didn't see it, but I know they were there 3 or 4 days because they woke me up. I got 6 calls, one of them at 12:30 at night, because they're doing something over there behind the houses, and we could hear them at my house, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So they did a whole bunch of work, and right after they left is when they started. These kids are on the gate, and they'll swing from here to there, and it's a hard piece of metal. When they hit, you hear the clanking noise. I could see one of those kids just darting off and hitting that fence head on. So all that needs to be done is, the city had the key to that and the chains there, so maybe with any luck, they could just re-chain it, hopefully, but it definitely needs to be looked at before a child gets hurt. Because there was kids playing on it that's 4 to 7 years old, and they don't know any better.
Yeah, we'll pass it on.
Thank you very much.
So Ameren cut the lock?
I couldn't swear to that, but we never had an issue until they came back there behind the houses, because they had equipment back there. They had lifts. And how they got back there, unless they took people's fences down, they went through that gate. No, I can't swear to that. I didn't see that. But they had boom trucks back there to get up on the poles. Because they were there with lights going all hours of the night for 2 or 3 days.
Thank you.
Mayor, we got one more, this is fine. One more item.
Yeah.
May 24th, we have a grand opening at Hosel Park.
Oh, I forgot.
Allegedly, there's supposed to be a kickball game between the police officers and the fire department.
Should be fine.
So, put that in on your calendar.
What time?
10 to 12.
12.
10 to 12. May 24th. That's a Saturday. That's all I have.
Oh, city administrator.
Mayor Campbell, Councilwoman Shivers says.
Oh, sorry, Councilwoman Shivers.
Yes.
You have anything you wanna, for the war report, your war report?
Not at this time. Thank you.
City administrator. What? Oh. You got it.
I have nothing to report at this time.
I forgot. City treasurer.
And he didn't introduce.
Oh, sorry, this is Marty, I'm gonna slaughter
Marty
the last
Corcoran.
name. Corcoran. He is the interim city administrator, so he is not the city administrator. He is the substitute of the city administrator. So we entered into a contract with Interim Solutions, and part of the package was that they would bring someone to basically keep the wheels of City Hall turning until we actually find a city administrator, which could take up to 4 months if we do it right. So he is from Maplewood, and Marty is was the city administrator of Maplewood for 35 years, so he has a plethora of knowledge and everything. So we will definitely be picking your brain about things, but he is basically going to help us out until we find our permanent person.
Will we have a Norman email address too?
Yes, he does have a number. It's M. How do you spell your last name? Your emails.
It's M. Corcoran at Normandy.gov.
Spell Corcoran.
Corcoran. Again, Corcoran.
Nice to have you, Mr. Cocker. Thank you.
And it's at cityofnormandy.gov. Just so.
Mayor Campbell,
Yes, ma'am.
what is Mr. Carpenter's availability at City Hall and his contact cell phone number?
He's here from Tuesday to Thursday. And then he's on call 24 hours.
Okay, and what are the hours?
From, what is it?
I'm usually here
He's
from
usually here.
9 to 6.
He's here when we open and he leaves when we close, but I think he leaves at like 6.
Leaves at what time?
I think he leaves at 6. He leaves at 6, he said.
Usually I leave at 6, yes.
He has
Oh, okay.
he has a cell number, sir? Is that
What?
available?
If you want, yeah, he can send it to you. I don't want to blast it. Who's next? City treasurer.
Good evening, Mayor.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, councilpersons. Good evening, employees and residents. Here to present the information regarding the February 2025 financial report. Mr. Garmo submitted a copy, hopefully all for you, of the narrative that I prepared for the report. So God forgive me as I go along. Sometimes the voice isn't always with me, but I will try to do my best. So for Part A, summary of the income statement. For the month of February, the city recorded a net deficit of $138,000. That was for revenues of $1.033 million versus expenditures of $1.171 million. Due to that result, city realized the overall net deficit for the fiscal year to date of $229,000. That's for revenues of $1.7 million compared to expenditures of $1.929 million. Part B, summary of the general fund balance as provided on the financial report. General fund unrestricted cash balance as of February 28th is $309,000. Village of Glen Echo Park project balance as of February 28th, $74,000. Amounts due to general fund from other funds, $392,000. And amounts due from general fund to other funds would be $106,000. That results in a overall unrestricted balance of $668,000. Then for restricted, you have Drug Task Force as of February 28th of $103, and restricted at Simmons as of February 28th of $633, resulting in a total restricted amount of $736,000. Part C, income for the general fund. Ideally, percentage of budget remaining for income at fiscal year end, at fiscal year to date should be at or below 58.3%, which would indicate that the amount of actual income was either the same or more than the budget amount of income. Unfortunately, the city fell short of the budget amount for income for fiscal year to date by $109,000, or 2.5% of the total budget amount. For Part D, expenditures by department for general fund. Conversely, the percentage of budget remaining for expenditures at fiscal year end, fiscal year to date should be at or above 58.3%, which would indicate that the amount of actual expenditures was either the same or less than the budget amount of expenditures. Unfortunately, the city spent more than it budgeted for fiscal year to date by almost $120,000, or 2.7% of the total budget amount. However, when it came to individual departments, some fared better in keeping expenses under budget while others did not. The departments that were under budget were the Parks Department. Those that were over were the prosecuting attorney, court, police, public works, and administration. However, all of those were, under 50%, which is definitely still good. But again, we definitely want to try to keep maintenance on the budget overall, since we're still 5 months in.
Questions? There were one of the issues that we have, just so everyone knows, the property taxes were not coming in from St. Louis County in a timely manner. There was a problem with that. So that 26.1% is actually, this is, and mind you, this is February's February is our report. Right now, it's faring, a little bit better. Oh, no, a lot better. It's at
Yeah.
60, it's at 61.
Was it 61%?
Hold on.
73.9.
73.9.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
then,
that-
yeah, so, but this is February, so mind you, this is February, but now it's, yeah,
73.9.
yeah. And then, the other question that I had was, about Public Works. There was an audit of our, what do you call it? Workman's comp from Travelers, and there was there was like some audits of like all the departments when it came to workman's comp. And I think because, from my understanding, we had to adjust because of the accident that we had before. So that actually is coming in a little bit over budget, like by about $10,000. Is it 10,000?
So all departments were affected.
But that particular line item. was-
Yes,
Yeah,
that, in that particular budget, yes.
yeah.
Can I,
So excuse me, what accident are you pertaining to that brought it up, increased it by 10,000, Mayor Campbell?
The worker that was killed by the tree.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Pierre, do you have a question?
I did, but I can do it offline here.
Okay.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to accept the financial report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse my tardiness. We have a little bit of stuff going on at work, so I had to do a little bit extra. So that's explaining my tardiness. But
Oh.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Old business. Council Bill number 25-10, second reading and ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, amending chapter 405 zoning regulations by the amendment of certain existing parking regulations and the enactment of a new section 405.757 regarding parking in all zoning districts. So this was just like the parking regulations to make it easier, in our mixed use and everything, like overall, when it came to parking. So this is our second read. If anybody has any questions about it. I think we've done this like, yeah. Any questions? This is just the easier parking. Can I get a motion to adopt Council Bill number 25-10?
Motion for 2510.
Second,
Second.
can I get a roll call vote?
Councilman Sexenberger?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cleveland?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Evans?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sugars?
Yes,
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Baye?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kimball?
Yes. Resolution number 25-20, a resolution of the City of Normandy authorizing the city clerk to enter into an annual agreement with Clearfly for telephone and fax services. So this is the telephone and fax services that we use. I think the increase was $25 a month, which brings the fee, you can see from the contract, to $376, $300.76 a month. It's a $25 increase from last year. It's just the fax system and the telephone system that we use here.
And do we still use fax services?
You fax it from the machine.
I thought everybody just,
Sometimes you gotta fax it.
Okay.
Fax it from the machine.
Haven't faxed in years.
You fax it from the copier.
I know, but do we still
Yeah,
use it?
I fax stuff from the copier.
Yeah.
Not here, but at my job.
You said $25 a month?
No, there's an increase of $25.
Okay.
If anybody would want, yeah.
Yeah, everything is so electronic.
Yeah.
Just showing to everybody stop using
Questions about the contract? Can I get a motion to adopt resolution number, which is 25-20?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
You want me to go further?
Mm-hmm.
You can get ordinance number for the other one.
Oh,
For 25-10.
can I get an ordinance number?
Sure, that's 836.
Can you say it again?
836.
836.
836.
You want for 2520.
Thank you. All right, 2521. Resolution number 2521, a resolution of the City of Normandy reappointing Christopher Dudley to the office of Municipal Judge of the 21st Judicial Circuit Court for the Normandy Municipal Court.
So moved.
Any questions about the contract? It's in the packet too. Any questions? Yeah, he's supposed to. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution number 25-22, a resolution of the City of Normandy accepting a proposal by Planning to Preserve LLC for a creation of historic preservation plan. I'm gonna have Doug come up and talk about it.
Doug.
It's your time to
Come on up,
shine.
His knees are so
Go
bad.
King, go.
I'll just take your questions if you want. And I can get into a long spiel about this.
I could tell you a little bit about it when we were gonna merge with Glen Echo Park. A part of the agreement was the city agreed to make that a historic district. And basically what it amounts to is this 25-22 is the city's part of that grant. Did I say it right?
Well, this is about the preservation plan and hiring that consultant,
For the consultant, right,
you know.
in order to get to that point.
Now, earlier in the year, the city council approved at that point, the hire, they accepted you approved the plan. And part of that was that you approved $5,500 to take care of our part. It's a federal grant, a 60-40 grant, 60% the feds pay, 40% Normandy pays. And that 40% was $5,500. Now, we hadn't hired a consultant at that time. We still haven't, but we sent out proposals, bids, we're asking professional consultants to bid on giving Normandy a preservation plan. They were all due on March 13th, and we were expecting 3 or 4 or 5. We got 1 response. Now that was not atypical. According to the state preservation office, they said, oh, that happens all the time. So we got 1 response. A couple weeks ago, we had an interview with this company. They're out of Pensacola, Florida, by the way. Many of these companies are out state. There's about 6 or 7 in the St. Louis area. So we had a Zoom call with the owner of the company. She's their only employee. We were very impressed with the interview with her, and we would like to hire her, but her fee was $6,750 higher than we had budgeted. I think we budgeted too low, actually. So what I'm asking tonight is that you approve Normandy's part. the state did come back and say, yeah, we'll approve the extra 6750. They only pay 60% of that, we pay the 40%. Our 40% is $2,700. So I'm asking for an additional $2,700 to hire this person, Jennifer, her name is Jennifer Wolf. And again, we have some commission members here, Vicki and Steve are on the commission. You can
Yes,
vouch
Steve.
for my saying we were very impressed with her.
She's extremely qualified. She's very, very passionate about what she does. And we probably interviewed her for about an hour, I guess. She answered every single question we had. Didn't break a sweat. She's very confident in what she does. And she's actually looking forward to this, I think. She gave everyone a very, very good impression by the time we were done with that interview.
Can I ask the question? One of the things that I was unclear of as the end of that meeting was the scope of this. This is historic preservation plan for the city of Normandy, not just Glen Echo Park.
No, well, Glen Echo doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You're
It
Normandy.
does exist and it always will, but that's just your opinion. The village is already on the National Historic Registry, so that,
Yes.
what we're talking about here is having a plan for Normandy that includes in the incorporation of that, a recognition of where the village of Glen Echo Park does. So I would prefer to call it, instead of the former Glen Echo Park, it will be the historic Glen Echo Park.
We could do that.
Because it already is.
We could do
But,
that.
yeah, I think it needs to be clear that it's not just for those two streets. We're talking about other historic properties around the city, and that includes Spotless Town and some other places. So we have to have people understand, it's not just us. We're looking for a plan for preservation. And it's just what this woman would do is to come and help us write that plan through public meetings, consultation, and hopefully work with some entities that already have some interest and knowledge of the St. Louis area. My concern was, she was the only one. I don't know if it was the timing of the bids. I don't know that there's an emergency need to approve this tonight. I think what I'd like to look at is some other possibilities of perhaps reopening the bid process. And we have some time before we need to spend all this money. And looking for other people, maybe contacting the Missouri Historical Society. I know people who do historic preservation in the city. SLACO, those kinds of folks who have some people who are expert in some of this. And so I think that we ought to just pause a minute before we press the go button on this one and ask the lady to wait if she's willing for us and let her know what the situation is.
Can you,
So there actually is a deadline to accept this proposal because according to the grant agreement that we received for the planning grant, for the planning, historic plan, we do have to select someone, and technically I think we are running a little bit behind on that deadline for selection.
What is that?
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll give me a
That
few
was what,
minutes.
I walked away from that meeting thinking that there was a deadline.
There is one, it's April,
I think it
It
passed.
passed.
It passed. It was a 10.
Yes.
I think it
it's
was a 10.
April 1st.
Oh, the first.
Yeah, they
No.
gave us an extension.
Oh, that was this is the extension, right?
They gave us an extension because we only had one, to give us a chance to interview her and all
And the
that.
extension is to what?
I think this is the extension.
I think we're pushing the limit on it. They wanted us to hire someone by April 1st, and they gave us enough time to interview her, and we did. And now they're waiting for the dollars.
And our commitment would be how much? 2,000,
$2,700
$2,700.
So, no, 27 more on top of what you already
on
approved.
top of the 55. You know, this process is quite complicated and complex, and I just think if we pull out and try to find another way, we'll be sitting here twiddling our thumbs over the next
Right,
year.
but I wanted to clarify that this is for the entire city.
We assume that.
Yeah, but that, some people didn't understand
What
that.
do you mean, some people?
And let's just, yeah,
So
I think it was just,
there is a deadline of May 1st to have a copy of a signed contract. So that's where we're at.
so we could push it to the workshop.
I mean, well, no, but selection was supposed to be April 1st.
Oh, okay.
Right, that includes the negotiation and approval of a contract,
Because
which this resolution is drafted in a way that the contract would have to come back
Yeah.
to the council, right? So this would have to be,
We haven't signed anything. Because the other thing, didn't you guys talk, did you guys also talk about like, actually like asking her about the price?
No, I don't, this is me personally, I don't want to enter a discussion with somebody, the first thing I talk about is how can we reduce your fee? That's not how we should operate, I don't think.
There was a discussion of the fact that she does not, any additional travel expenses, she is not including that in her fee.
Like, she's
So
gonna
then-
handle all of her transportation outside of the contract. I thought that was generous. I mean, she lives in, she's from Pensacola, I mean, that's
She was the only bid.
not exactly next door.
It's not a friend, it was.
This is
someone
not
who-
someone's, this is not someone's friend, this is the person that accepted the bid. That's just.
May I ask a question, please? How many citizens were involved in this from the beginning? I mean, it's not, we got citizens out here that don't know anything about this.
The Historic Preservation Commission meetings, I believe, are every third Tuesday of every month. They're open meetings.
I'm just asking,
Any
you know.
citizens can attend the meeting.
We meet every month. The fourth Tuesday of every month, we meet here at 5:30.
How long has the Historic Preservation Committee been up and running?
Oh, about 10 years.
So,
2013 was when we were officially recognized as the 55th city in Missouri to become a certified local government, which is how this all started.
Did you have newsletters going out?
did they pay
No.
for their own newsletters? No.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
we
Is it in
rely on
the
people like
newsletter?
you
Yes.
to send out newsletters.
The city sent out newsletters and that is part of the newsletter
I'm
also,
just asking,
yeah.
I'm just
So
asking.
that's in the newsletter, all the boards and commission meetings are in the newsletter, and the city council meetings are in the newsletter.
So just some random lady from Florida knew about this, and nobody else in the whole country.
No, it was advertised through professional organizations. She's the only one who bid on it.
You can't get any other bids though? Just one bid?
Oh, it's,
Well,
I think, is that illegal to just take our bids?
but.
Deadline passed.
Okay, I just want to say that we did contact people here locally. We do have people that, are in our state that do this kind of thing. I personally called at least 3 people that I knew were qualified, but they were all booked up. They could not take on any other projects. One of them was Doris Keevan Frank. She does that Archer Alexander thing, and she's working with St. Peter's Cemetery and all of that. So we did contact people here locally that could have been qualified, but they could not take on any more projects. So when they advertise these things, they do advertise them through the historic preservation organizations. So it is, made available nationally. And she was the only one who responded. And when we interviewed her and met with her on Zoom, she really had a passion, not just for what she did, but she did a lot of research on Normandy and did her homework on the area and what's historic in Normandy before she even, so that she put it in her presentation. So, for somebody to go above and beyond before we even I mean, that was part of her presentation before we even interviewed her. I mean, we were impressed before we even talked to her.
Just real quick,
Wait,
Hannah,
Ju-
if the,
I'm sorry, no.
yes,
Julia.
if the, oh, I thought I had my hand first, but go ahead.
Good evening. I'd like to know who owns this LLC, one, and if the person who we're discussing would be willing to come and present before the people and the council so that we have an idea of who this is and what's being proposed.
You can have, it's in here.
It's in
Yeah,
there.
the package, yeah.
I don't have that. We don't have that.
I know, I'm giving it to you.
Oh, you're giving it to
Yeah,
me.
this is in,
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.
Just to piggyback off what she said, I'm glad that you reached out to some people here locally. Is it a possibility, Canada, that if you have a little bit more time, if one of the local people,
They had their chance. They had their opportunity.
if we had mine, if we could talk to them, if they can sign the contract, they don't have to start right away, or is there something in the provisions that say the work has to be done by a certain date?
So this was
Yes.
advertised by RFP, which is a sealed bid process.
Right.
So, we would have to officially reopen for everyone if that's the case, if you wanna accept other bids, but at this time, that bid process has already been closed.
Okay, it just feels a bit untoward to only have one bid, and then the woman probably knows that, and now she needs almost $3,000.
That was
or
not
whatever.
communicated to her.
She doesn't know,
She doesn't know.
she does not know that.
She didn't know.
Steve,
Nobody in the meeting said, you're the only one.
Nope.
No,
There was at least 10 or 12 people that were called personally by different members of the commission, and no one in St. Louis or Missouri bothered to take time to bid. This was the only person, it was a sealed bid. No one knew, I still can't even remember her name. So no one knows her. She's the only one that took time, and there's a time limit. If we don't do it by May 1st, we lose the money. And we
Well,
go back.
we get 30 days beyond that if we have to do it. I mean, they, according to the contract, the state can pull the project out from underneath us if we're more than 30 days behind.
Let me ask this question.
What's the objection? I still want to know what the objection
One
is.
of my objections
the money?
is that we didn't count her. We did not counter her off, but we did not, she's a woman who has her own company. She does this for a living. This is what she does. She's gonna make as much money on this contract as she possibly can. If we don't have the money to pay her, then we need to tell her, this is all we've got. Do you want it or not?
And I'll tell you that
I mean, that's
I
a
don't think
difference in
we-
your philosophy about how to go about doing things, but we do have a set number of dollars and we're running a deficit for the city. I would like to have a conversation with her about, we'd love to have you. However, our grant is for this amount of money.
when's your next meeting?
Thursday.
It's next Tuesday.
fourth Tuesday, whenever that is, 2 weeks.
When's the next workshop?
In 2 weeks?
No, it's the 22nd, which is a week from today.
And then the workshop is when?
The
24th.
So, if you allow me, on page 1 of the proposal itself has a breakdown of the entire fee process.
You should have, everybody should have gotten a copy of this. Is that what you recognize, this being in your possession? She's a small firm. She sort of specializes in preservation plans. Preservation plans is not the most exciting thing, and I think a lot of these consultants didn't want to deal with it. If they could have found something else to do, they would have. But there were at least 20, maybe 25 people, companies that we sent out invitations to bid. And 6 or 7 were St. Louis area, the rest were all over the country. And she happens to be from Pensacola, Florida.
What were you gonna say about page 1?
Page 1 has the fee proposal listed out by different phases of the plan. Or the planning process, I'm sorry.
Is it,
Maybe table to
is
negotiate.
it feasible to, have her come back on the 22nd? Or no?
Sure, we could reach out and see if she's available to attend the meeting. She'll have to attend via Zoom.
Is that doable?
Yeah.
And then we can make a decision on the 24th?
I think she would be willing to do that.
Is that,
Is the 22nd open to us?
Every meeting is.
every meeting is open to.
We can't really hear you.
Oh, every meeting is open to the public, every meeting. Yeah.
Other than a closed meeting.
So can I get a motion?
Oh, hold on one moment. There was a bit of information.
Oh,
Can you repeat that? I think I heard 2027, the year?
City administrator?
I'm sorry?
he's talking about something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stop it. He's talking about something. Can I get let's do this. Does everyone feel comfortable moving this to the 24th workshop?
Yeah, let's move.
Move it to there. Can I get a motion to,
Motion.
wait, hold on.
Yeah, read it first.
Can I get a motion to move resolution number 25-22 to the April 24th city council workshop?
Motion.
A second? All in favor? Aye. In the meantime, for those of you that are interested, Doug, can you tell us the date and time for your next meeting? The next meeting for historic preservation?
Let's see,
To 22nd at
2 weeks from
5:30.
today.
The 22nd at 5:30.
It's a week from today.
Yeah. So Tuesday.
A week from today? Is this the third?
Today's the 15th.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So this is the third Tuesday?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the third Tuesday, so next week
So
is our meeting.
Tuesday, the 22nd at 5:30 in these chambers, and then we will ask her to join us again. And Doug is the chair, so,
I'm gonna find out tomorrow if she can make that, because
yeah.
our original meeting was supposed to be at another time 2 weeks ago. And we made it later so she could
Oh, okay.
do it.
Oh, yeah, because she was out of town. Yeah, that's true. So, if you were
So how are you
interested,
gonna alert the citizens that this meeting might not happen on the
they can
22nd?
look on the website and see if it's
Okay.
gonna happen.
Anybody got that?
In the agenda, yeah. It'll be on the side,
Okay.
yeah, with the agenda.
So, are you resolved?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Citizen comments. Citizen comments. Can I get a motion to go? Oh, yeah.
There is, Terry Gannon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Moore.
Just a few quick questions or statements. I don't know if anybody can answer. It's already February from the financials and we have such a huge deficit. And I think earlier, Ms. Yolanda, you were saying something about a luncheon or a dinner. Is that necessary? Can we afford that if we have such a deficit already? I don't know if that's a tradition or new.
it's not a tradition, but I will say that going to an installation dinner is where, and doing workshops is where you learn from other municipalities about things that they're doing and you network. So is it necessary? Like, are we gonna go bankrupt if we go to an installation dinner? No. The workshops that I was talking about, those are like $20.
Oh, so this is not just all y'all going, this is like a citywide
No,
installation?
this would be the city council members going to an installation workshop to basically meet other city officials, and then you learn about,
Oh, yeah, I knew about
Yeah.
that meeting that Kiana talked about, and she told people to sign up. I was talking about, you mentioned about a dinner or a luncheon for
Yeah,
the new people.
it's a dinner.
Oh,
yeah.
it's the same thing?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
a-
okay.
It's a dinner.
Okay. Next one, speaking of this, it would be really great if we can get working mics for you all. It's so hard for us to hear you all out there. It would be awesome if Kiana had one too, and maybe one here, or one that you all can share amongst yourselves, because it's very difficult to hear out there. Also, I was gonna just say, it'd be great if we could have more bids, or at least negotiate the fee with the woman from Florida. I mean, just taking any price she gives you. Nobody who runs a successful business just takes the first bid that they get. So if we can just be fiscally conscious of that. Oh, also, I feel like I can't say your last name right, so I don't even want to say it.
Sachsenheimer.
Okay.
Sachsenheimer.
When you were talking earlier about the rental people that are in Ward 1, totally agree, we've been having issues about that. About 7 months ago, when I had an issue, I included the entire board. I never hear from anybody except for Yolanda. Every now and then, there's one property that Tony will tell you, we live on the same street, is a renter. They did not go through the proper process, and over the past 56 weeks, I've sent 30 emails about that one property, and none of y'all on here has responded or pushed Mr. Sampson to do anything about it. So while you want attention to your ward, it's like you're saying, you have to look at the whole city. I don't just send all of y'all the emails just 'cause I don't have anything to do. They're pretty lengthy, detailed, so everybody has a good grasp. If we have someone here, Mr. Sampson or whomever, that's their job, they gotta do their 30 emails in a little over a year is wild. I'd be fired. I don't know about where y'all work at, I'd be fired.
Just for the record, when I said we need to look at these different ordinances and stuff, it was for the entire city.
Oh, yes, sir, I know.
I was referencing something that I seen and went through in Ward 1.
Oh, yeah,
I
but
didn't
you all have
say
more
it was
renters, I
just
think.
for Ward 1.
Oh, yeah, no, I know you weren't saying, I'm just saying, it's pretty, well known that you guys have the weight of the renters, and Ward 2 is turning it, is slowly, we have lots of out-of-state people who are gobbling up property, so, that's all.
Any more citizen comments?
No other comments?
Can I get a motion to go into closed session for a legal issue?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, so it has to be
Oh,
roll call.
wait, sorry, roll call.
Councilman Sachsenheimer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cleveland? Yes. Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Evans?
Yes.
Councilwoman Shivers? Councilwoman Shivers, are you still on? Making sure. Okay, Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Baye?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes. Kim, are you talking about the one?
Yes.
Are you talking about the house?
The one who needs their trailer.
No, the one with the right line.
No, not the one on the corner.
No, they're in the middle of the street.
So 7809.
Yes, and they put the trash in little people's houses.
So there's a driveway.
It's like 78.
Okay, yeah.
The driveway house is coming down Fairway.
They coming down.
Horizon.
that make a left now?
Let's say I'm coming down, go down here. It's far away, like, the middle part.
That's one.
Right, so once I turn.
Yeah.
I just told her, we keep talking. And then he puts, and he puts it on there. He just buys it.
Because one of them had a bunch of trash in it, and I was like,
He buys it, a lot of times you can tell cars in the driveway.
Yeah.
Brick goes in the type of fight.
it's not the same, it's not the same part.
And if it's 7 days and more, then go back and watch. So if he's trying to sit there and it's still much harder.
Yeah. So,
Huh.